Bring it back. Hi, Rosie. How are you doing today?
Hello. Hi, I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Glad to be with you. We kind
Right
of
back.
skipped
Yeah.
we kind of skipped July, so we took a little break and we're back for August reading. So welcome back.
Thank you. Welcome back to you. It was a nice little summer break.
Yes, yes, we all need
Yeah.
a little bit of a downtime.
A little bit of downtime is always a good thing.
So we are going to be doing our 5 card draw, but we with following the theme of Major Arcana and from one of the tarot decks that you have. We just want to introduce ourselves. So who we are. I am Carole Funk. I'm an integrative practitioner of metaphysics. I love to facilitate sessions that help empower you and kind of gain more clarity and awareness. All about self-awareness and love the tools that we're creating, and that we have created. And I'm in the process of creating more, but it's a slow process.
You are the creatrix. You have a that incredibly creative mind where you're constantly coming up with amazing new ideas and creating beautiful things. What a gift.
But then not all ideas need to be followed through, right?
Right. You get to experiment.
Yeah, I'm in the process of. I think I have some pretty good ideas. I'm just trying to see how best they can be delivered. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's where the challenge is, and then taking into consideration the cost, my cost, and also the cost of the recipient. So, how can I make this information affordable for everyone and be an exchange? So best exchange.
Right. Right.
And then I'm hosting I'm back to hosting in-person sessions at Journeys, a Center for Your Soul in Salem, Oregon. So
That's so great. You did Akashic Records last week, right?
yes, I just did this couple weeks ago. I In mid-July I had the session, and
Nice.
it was nice. It's keeping the groups intimate so that we can have a better exchange. So I'm going to be probably offering it again, in the next few months. I'm kind of planned that already until the end of the year. So
Oh,
probably,
good.
yeah. So I have a
Awesome.
few workshops coming up. Anyway, so
And
let's.
where can our listeners find out about your workshops?
Well, they can always look on Linktree and our
Mm-hmm.
Facebook groups, our Soulful Joyful Living business page on Facebook, but also Journeys a Center for Your Soul.
Oh, good.
Um, .com is their website has all the events listed.
Awesome.
And let's talk about you a little bit, Miss Rosie.
I'm a psychic medium. I like to use my aptitudes to communicate with all manner of beings. Right now, I'm pet sitting for somebody, and I've been talking to their little old man dog. He's got doggy Alzheimer's, so he's not very coherent. He's hard to understand, but he's cute. He's cute. I do readings. I love to do readings. I do direct readings, and I use divination tools. I especially enjoy our oracle decks that we've developed, as well as tarot decks. But I also do runes, and I do scrying and things like that. I'm very passionate about using my aptitude for these kinds of things to be of service to other people. If there's some way I can give them insights so that they know how to move forward, that's like my thing.
Yeah,
It's
I think
so gratifying.
I think the best reward is when we hear the client say, "Well, I didn't think about it this way," or I
Exactly.
that's kind of
Yeah.
like the best reward of whatever conversation or a reading or session that we conduct, is because we're bringing something, a new perspective to be
Right.
explored, and I think that's the ultimate prize.
Yes, I totally agree with you on that. And it's whenever somebody says that to me, I always say, well, that's what I'm here for. A
Right,
different set of eyes,
right,
different
right.
set of
Yeah, because
tools. So,
I think when we're caught in something, we may not see all the angles. So it's always sometimes it's good to have that exchange with someone else, because then you're seeing that fresh pair of eyes, and then
mhm.
we're not emotionally attached to anything, so we're might be more objective in terms of,
Mhm.
and then also with the guidance and the intuition that we have, the message can be delivered in a way that it's going to be heard. So
Yeah, absolutely. That neutrality and that information coming through from a source that doesn't have any agenda is really
right,
helpful for people.
right.
Yeah.
So make sure you experience Rosie. You also host readings at certain places now.
Yeah,
So if you want to,
I'm located in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I and my housemate have uh we've started Divination 505. 505 is the area code for New Mexico. And so we have 505 Chile and we have 505 this and 505 that. So we thought we'd do divination 505. And we do readings a couple of times a week at coffee houses in Albuquerque. And Michael Thomas Coffee is the one we're at right now. And then we also do readings in Old Town, which is the oldest part of Albuquerque, uh, at a place called High Vibe Crystals. And we're
perfect.
there Saturdays and Sundays doing tarot and oracle readings. So
Nice.
yeah, it's fun. It's really, really fun. We meet such interesting people. And even if we don't have the opportunity to do a reading because it might not be their thing, it's so much fun to talk to everybody because you learn so many things about different perspectives when you talk to people. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
So Rosie, since Rosie does tarot, she's in charge of pulling the tarot card for our readings, and then after that we use our card decks to follow suit.
Yeah. So I pulled this morning, I asked what it is that we need to address in the month of August. And the card that came up, this is from the Lux the Tarot Grand Lux by an artist named Ciro Marchetti. His decks are eye candy. And the High Priestess is who came up. So she is about the divine feminine. She's about inner wisdom, inner knowing. She's about cycles and rhythms. She's about flow. She's about connection. She is about intuition, inner sight, inner wisdom, and connecting. So, yeah, she's pretty special. She's the divine feminine in the deck. So, yeah, she's awesome. So, that's who we're talking about today.
So, and I know you mentioned something about the moon, and
Yes, she's associated with the moon, with the cycles of the moon, with actually all cycles, her interpersonal cycles, the cycles of the earth, and the cycles of the moon. She's associated with flow. Um, yeah, she is, and we're getting ready. We moved into the end of July, we moved into Leo season. We're now in August. So we're in full on Leo season, and Leo is connected to the sun and creative self-actualization and being she's more introspective. Leo's out there, very yang, whereas she's more yin. And so I think that she'll lend a nice balance to this month's readings because she reminds us about that divine feminine and that introspection as opposed to climbing up on stage and leadership and all of that kind of those kinds of things that Leo is associated with.
but you can't get on stage unless you start looking inward, right? So
Right.
you
First, you've got to
need,
go.
right,
So there are people who are Leos that I know that climb up
right,
on stage every opportunity they get because they want to be seen, they want to be recognized, and they haven't done their inner work.
right.
So yeah, it's an interesting conundrum. I think that if you're a Leo, you might want to pay special close attention to this month's cards because it's a balance. It's a way to balance out that Leonine energy, that Leo energy.
So we are using our decks, and those are the 5 decks that we're going to be using. And the question that we decided as to serve us for this reading, the question that we kind of carried as we were going to pull cards was, how can we embody the qualities of the High Priestess? I think it's the best way to align to the divine feminine energies and to kind of see what can be beneficial in in this time period, or in August or month of 8. And 8 is about abundance or manifesting. So
This
being
is
more
mastery.
mindful, right? So being more mindful maybe about what we want to invest in, and what we want to release, as we're going to move with the full moon and everything else. So there's always those cycles that we can look into. So um, so the first card that we pulled, oh, it's not showing
Yeah,
it, is
we pulled it off our crystal deck.
and it's a lapis lazuli. I'm saying it probably the French way, lazuli.
Yeah.
And it's voicing a message of expanding to deep looking and peer into the deeper self. Look unblinkingly, allowing energy to emanate from and enter into your third eye. Expand your perception using your peripheral third eye vision. How far can you see? How flexible is your perception? Ride the indigo wave of third eye vision. Look unblinkingly using your intuition. What is your deepest knowing? What is your deepest wisdom? What is your deepest truth? And this is the card here.
Image, yeah. This is the perfect card for the High Priestess because she's all about intuition and inner knowing and inner wisdom and connecting with it. Her personal wisdom, but also the wisdom that she gains from her connections to universal knowledge, universal wisdom. And that high intuition is a big deal with the High Priestess. So this is a perfect card to go with her. Encouraging.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, it feels like it's the, with those two eyes is kind of like having to look behind the veil in terms, and looking inward to expand that awareness and expand those. um I think it's easy for us if we keep our eyes shut, and not just the physical eyes, but our third eye. It's easy for us to, um one, miss out, but also two, to misinterpret.
Mm,
And to become kind of close-minded, and
yeah.
not see beyond what is, because a lot of there's so much information when we go further than what we think we see or what we think we know.
Right.
And I think training that eye, um, just really helps with understanding and becoming more compassionate, because you're not just seeing right in front of you, but I don't know how to explain what I'm sensing or feeling, but it's there's such an expansion when you do that,
Yeah, it's looking beyond. And
yeah.
that's what she's about. She looks beyond. She looks within, but she goes so deep that it takes her to other connections and it takes her beyond. It's like when you go into really, really deep meditation and you
Mhm.
lose yourself in the meditation and you're connected to everything. And so you see beyond what you would normally see with your physical eyes or even your third eye. So, yeah,
and then you can use the color also to get you to that space where, as you're just connecting with that deeper knowing that looking inward is invite that color to just come in and just um, help you see beyond. I'm getting lost into the space there, so I need
You
to
go off into
you
outer space. Well, then you know what's so interesting is that we're in Leo season, and Leo is associated with the sun, which is yellow. And blue and yellow are opposite on the color wheels. They're opposite, so they complement each other when you're talking about pigments. And this is a very, very blue card. So while the High Priestess is going inward and expanding out into the universe to see the yellow, the sun, the self, the creative self actualization is doing it in a very physical way. So to balance that, too much of one or the other, I think there needs to be a little both.
so it's going in the heart, the green, right?
Yes, and guess what? Leo is about the heart. Leo is about love.
Okay.
So, yeah, so Leo, for this Leo season, we might want to consider doing some inner work and doing it through love and compassion. Yeah, Leo is all about love. So, um, that Leo is associated with the heart. So, I think that that's a nice, it's a really nice balancing act.
Mm,
Uh, yeah, interesting,
yeah,
interesting.
it's finding that middle space where you're not one of the um, extreme into the Leo. So yeah, it's that balancing that you
Yeah.
mentioned there.
I think
Um,
that's why she showed up. I think
mhm,
that's why she showed up because Leo is so different than the High Priestess.
okay.
Now in the tarot deck, the Strength card has a picture of a lion with a person, usually a female,
Mhm,
um, and it's eight in the tarot deck. Well, if it's some of the old ones, 8 and 11 change places. So in some of the old decks, Strength will be 11 and Justice will be 8. But in the more modern ones, 8 is Strength and it's a lion. And so we've got the High Priestess to balance that strength with inner wisdom for this time of year.
so then it's kind of like the divine the masculine and the feminine energies coming together to bring that
Yeah,
balance. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Mm, okay.
Very cool.
You want to take the next one?
Sure. We used the color deck for the next card, and the card that came up is bold purple. Look at that. Gorgeous. I love this image. It looks like two suns connected. So all of
Also
these
two big eyes.
two big eyes, right? More of that inner vision. So all of these cards are the frequency and the qualities of the colors, and at the top it has two or three descriptors for the color. So in this case, bold purple is mental clarity, imagination, and positivity, which I just love. And then all of the cards invite you to step into experiences. So they all open with the phrase, I am open to the experience of, now here's what you're open to, of clearing my mind of clutter, allowing my imagination to take flight, and embodying the frequency of positivity to carry me through. So I think, and one of the things with the high priestess is that because she is about going inward and she uses knowledge and wisdom, and they're a little bit different. Knowledge is knowing, wisdom is applied knowledge.
Mhm.
So she takes that and she uses that mental clarity and that imagination and positivity to spin things. So I think this is the perfect card. Plus, it's also the same color as the crown chakra
Right.
at the
And
top of the head.
it feels like this is in the opening, going into
Yes.
the lighter
Yeah.
color is kind of like
Yeah.
bringing light to what needs to be um addressed in some ways, and as you
Yeah.
also expand the openness of your chakra, crown
Hmm.
chakra is that connection to the higher realms, and it feels like also with the arrow and the way that the card is has, it's almost like and not that it's ascension is an up process, but at the same time it feels that that expansion.
Right, expansion. And it's also an internalization process because it circles back around.
Hmm.
It circles back around. So it's such an interesting image. Such an interesting image.
It's
And I
almost
like the
also
idea of the, oh, go ahead.
no,
Go ahead.
it just also it feels like, oh, maybe moons also here, yeah, with
Yes.
the crescent moon here, and then
Yes. Cycles of, and
the
she
full
is about
moon,
cycles. She is
right,
about cycles and rhythms. And the
right.
moon is, without the moon cycles and rhythms, our planet would not be the way it is at all. It helps stabilizes it, creates the tidal flow and renewal and things like that. So, I also like the idea of the clutter clearing of
Uh-huh.
the mind. I love that idea because she's about that wisdom and that inner knowing and connecting to earth energy, to personal energy, and to cosmic energy to have an abundance of information from which to work to make decisions. And so to clear out the clutter that's not allowing her to do what she needs to do. And I
Yeah,
love this about
clarity.
the imagine and taking flight, that clarity and then the imagination.
Right. Well, clarity is necessary in order to make the better choices, right?
Absolutely. And boy, we sure could use that as a planet right now.
And
Some of the
sometimes
choices.
we need that pause that she invites
Yeah.
us to go inward,
Yeah,
to be able to get
absolutely.
that clarity. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
The next deck that we use is the consciousness deck,
Hmm.
and we pull the elixir of life. And each of the card of the consciousness deck starts out with "I am grateful for," which amplifies the, um, the field. And I thought it was necessary. So we thought it would be greater message with starting out with "I am grateful for." And so the message of the elixir of life is: I'm grateful for who I am and the remembrance of nurturing my relationship with my higher self. This awareness is my gateway to the elixir of life, igniting all potentialities. So again, we're reminded that that aspect of the high priestess of going inward and using the inner knowledge and inner knowing and nurturing our relationship um, with our higher self gives us the greater perspective and I think greater understanding. Provides greater understanding as we're and because it's all about awareness. The more aware, I think, the more aware we become, the better choices we make, and the greater we evolve,
I
and the more
agree.
authentic we become. So
Right.
I think it's kind of like a loop, in the one leads to another, to the next step and to the next step. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
agree. And you know what I like here is it talks about the gateway. And isn't Lionsgate this month?
oh, in August, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't
Right.
that like the 8th of August or something? We have the
Eight
Lionsgate.
eight, yeah, 8 8 is the
Yeah. So this talks about a gateway too. So that's interesting.
that is true, yes.
Yeah.
And again, we're having some of the colors. We're in the blues and purples, so we have this little purplish, pinkish area here, and then the bluish kind of, and then this little light. It's almost like a little light bulb in the middle of,
That flame. It's like a
yeah,
little
it's a little
flame.
flame, yeah.
Yeah. Elixir of life. That's a beautiful card, even if I do say so myself.
Right, it
Uh,
works well with what the message is.
yeah. Yeah. It really dovetails nicely into the message.
Because I think I mean, it's important to remind ourselves that we do have to nurture that relationship. Nothing happens. I think we easily fall back into our everyday doing, and by being more mindful or conscious of what we could do and what we can apply, um, I think we miss out. We can easily miss out a lot on a lot of things, and all. And she talks about, this card talks about potentialities. So if we're not in that space of inner knowing and clarity, we can miss out on the opportunities that come forward. That we, yeah, because we were not aware or awake, and
Yeah, yeah,
so. And she's about
yeah.
receptivity, so
She
she
is.
is. So the more clarity you have, the more opportunities will come, and the more you're apt to receive them,
Right.
and be aware of receiving them, and then taking on that step, because now you're, I don't know, it's just it's like one can't live without the other.
Right, right, right. Well, that's we live in a world of well, a universe of duality.
Right.
So, we've got to have both to have balance.
But it's also interesting to also, because I always go back, we often have conversation about the chicken and the egg, and it's also which one is it? Is it the awareness that needs to come first, or is it the, looking inward, um, like tapping into your heart, or which one comes first that will propel you into that field of potentialities, into appreciating life the way that you're meant to appreciate it at. So,
Yeah. There's that whole argument about the either or, and I've sort of, as I age, as I get older and older, I sort of, for me, it's becoming less about either or and becoming both and.
mhm,
Yes, both and, both of them. Yes.
right, right.
That all applies. So yeah, but usually we do that. We compare everything because we live in duality. So
Mhm.
yeah.
With comparison comes judgment, so that's not helpful.
Yes. Yes. Comparisons often involve judgments, and judgments can
It's
be
not serving.
problematic. Yeah. Yeah, they can be problematic for sure.
Would you like
So
to
we
move on to the next card?
Sure. So the next deck we used was the I Am deck. This is Carole's very first deck. It's an affirmation deck. It's wonderful. Um, and we pulled the card of I am mirroring. So the message is, and down at there's this beautiful affirmation. I pull one of these every day, and I put it where I can see it. And I look at it throughout the day. And then in the evenings, I write about my experiences. At the bottom, after the information, Carole has this capacity to write these really probing, intriguing questions that when you think about them, the more you think about them, the deeper they go. So, mirroring, I'm grateful for what is showing up so that I can see, adjust, and evolve to be my best self. And that's one of the things that the high priestess does is she's a mirror. She usually sits with a pool of water at her feet in many of the images, and they're reflective. And plus, she's also connected with the moon, and the moon doesn't cast its own light, it reflects the light. So it's mirroring. So I love this whole idea. The questions at the bottom: what types of person or situation keep showing up? What is the pattern? So she's also about cycles and patterns and repetition. So I think this is a great card for her.
We definitely have patterns in the car on the front of the
Yeah,
card.
got the mirror images. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I really and it's so much of the time when we find ourselves in a situation that is uncomfortable or less than what we would like for it to be, if we can find the presence of mind and tap into our high priestess energy and ask the question, okay, what is it that's bothersome for me? And what is it showing me? What is it mirroring back to me that I'm unaware of? Perhaps it's something about myself that I'm not seeing, because so much of the so many times somebody that you dislike or some kind of a situation you don't like is a mirror, it's a reflection for something that you need to be aware of that you're not, that you're connected to. So, and the high priestess is about looking at that and using the inner wisdom, the intuition, and inner knowledge to do that introspection about that. So I think this is
Well,
a good card for her.
right, and then I think the once you do that, the with the clarity, like the mind decluttering and all of that, and when you have the clarity of mind, then you can and become more of that new with the clarity comes that more of a neutral lens, and then with
Right.
that neutral lens that you can see those patterns and you can see what keeps showing up and not judge it but just see for what it is, and then it gives you the opportunity to create shifts, to make changes, or it's calling you to become more aware of certain things
Mhm.
and have the opportunity to do something about them. So
Exactly. And that's the high priestess is awareness,
mhm.
about that awareness. So yeah, that was a really good card for her. Are you going to do the manifestation deck?
I guess so. So we are finishing up the reading with Eternal Flow. So, like Rosie mentioned, um, the High Priestess is all about flow. So the card is Eternal Flow. For the purpose of manifesting my soul's desires, I bridge the connection with my physical and subtle bodies to be in the eternal flow of the abundance of the universe. As I balance my multi bodies, I access my personal power, self confidence, and self reliance. I'm decisive and take responsibility for my choices and actions. I am the vibrational match to manifest that which is for my highest good and the good of all. So, we talked about clarity, we talked about um, the potentialities, the um, being in flow, being a receptive in the receptive mode, being in the divine feminine, looking inward and all of that, which really helps you to tap into that personal power, to become that self-confident and self-reliant. So and then with that clarity, you make better choices, which is the decision making, knowing that you're taking responsibility for those choices. So I think it's a beautiful ending card because it's kind of gives you the process of things. And there's always, we talk about we had this little conversation just before we went on. And then you said, how are my actions impacting others? So,
Yeah.
that responsibility of the choices and actions has an impact on other people, and so not just thinking about, and then something about Leo being about kind of self-absorbed.
They
So
can be. Leos can be very self-absorbed.
so then it brings back to looking at from the higher perspective of it's not only good for me but it's good for all. So it's bringing you back into that space of divine feminine energies, I think. So,
Right, right. And that balances the Leo is associated with the sun and creative self-actualization, and it's very me oriented and very action oriented. It's very, very yang, very male. And so we've got that eternal flow, which suggests water and the divine feminine to help balance out that that bold energy that comes with the Leo season in August. So yeah.
nice. Well, thank you for this. I hope it supports others in navigating. the August energies.
Yeah, it's
We
gonna
are,
it coming and going faster than we can imagine.
I know, it's like time is going too fast.
It is. It's accelerating.
Yeah. So we have the Body of Wisdom Oracle Circle that you can join on Facebook, and we provide readings and different things there that we believe are helpful in in supporting our theme of this year. That when we listen, everything becomes an oracle, and it really becomes about from awareness to embodied perception. So it's not just a concept; we're living it. So if you're welcome to join us there, and
Yes,
we can be reached. These are our emails that you can reach us for readings, healing sessions, and things like that. Or if you have any questions, if you want to purchase the decks, you can visit soulfuljoyfulliving.com, or you can look at the link tree, and then you can directly have the link to everything that we do. And we're here to support you in any way we can. So just reach out. We'll be happy to support you. So
absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. This was fun. Thank you, Carole.
thank
Happy
you.
August.
Yes, it's that's it. That's another month behind. Going to be behind us soon. So just came through a birthday that we're moving on to a new cycle. So we'll see what happens next year.
Yeah, new happy solar return. Happy solar return.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we will see you next month in September, and then let's see what's in store then. In the meantime, join us on our Facebook group and the Soulful Joyful Living business page to stay in touch and get all the places that in the Divination 505. So you join that if you're in the Albuquerque area, so that you can meet Rosie in person and get a taste of her aptitude. I love you, Rosie. Thank you
I
for.
love you too. Thank you.
We will see you next month.
See you next month. Bye.
Bye bye.